Hello and welcome again to our Sakata vegetable production series, where we tell you everything about vegetables, specifically today tomatoes, A to Z. What do you need to look at? What's the different things that you need to consider when planting a certain vegetable? Today, tomatoes. Johan, how are you doing?
Fine yourself, Andre?
Good. Okay, so I want to plant tomatoes. I want to get to these, or preferably a little bit bigger. This is the only red one that I could find, or reddish. But I've got certain resources that I've got at my disposal. What is the difference between open field and using a netting system like we've got here, or even when would we look at like a greenhouse or so and so forth?
Okay, I think the starting point for me on tomatoes, the first question you should ask is, where are you going to market your tomatoes? It's about the resources as well. I mean, not everyone can erect a net house or plastic. But the first question is, where do you want to market your varieties or the produce? And that's for the different discussion, but that's where indeterminate and determinate also comes in. A lot of the open field varieties or determinate varieties, they are very nice quality or very nice flavored tomatoes. They grow relatively compact. It's not as tall. So you save on labor, trellising, all of that. They are more adapted to open field conditions, and they are suitable for certain markets. So if you've got a local market and there's a lot of people living around you and they do not have access to supermarkets, or they cannot travel 200 kilometers to buy something, then you've got a local community where you can produce quality tomatoes, very nice tasting tomatoes, and it's relatively easy for you to produce. Still in open field. Still in open field. So then you can look at your input cost. Maybe you've got difficulty in getting fertilizers or chemicals. Then something like a determinate variety would suit you well, because you can use a lot of manures, and you've got a very short crop. So once the diseases come in, you can terminate that crop, and it didn't cost you a lot with input cost to do the trellising, the labor, and all of that. With a crop like this, you better make a success, or you're not going to make money.
Or you're not going to be on the farm next year.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is doing it like this, under netting. So basically, what do you call it? More of a protected system.
Yes.
This is a high cost, high yield at the end of the day,
Yes.
but you're going to have to put out a big capital outlay.
Yes.
And then you need to make sure that you know what you're doing, your market is secured, all of those things are fine.
Yes.
If you go open field, then you will plant different varieties.
Yes.
And also, it's more like, as they call it back, it's almost like a racing horse versus what they call the farmer's horse.
Yes.
At the end of the day.
Yes.
The one can take a lot more shots than the other one, but the one is quicker at the end of the day. So if you're open field, then you just go for the different varieties. But what you're saying is that your market first of all determines
determine what your market is. There's no use in trying to produce determinate varieties if you want to try and sell it on the fresh produce market, or try to sell it to a supermarket. That will not be realistic. So the supermarkets in general, they demand high quality, long shelf life tomatoes. So then you would go for a system like this. And the reason why we would go for, you get indeterminate varieties you can grow in the open field as well. Here we are under protection, and basically what we do is we're just creating a better suitable environment. We're taking the sharp edge off the sun and the UV from the plants. You can see the leaves are nice and healthy, they're big leaves. If you get this in the open field, you'll generally get smaller leaves and a lot of sunburn. So the same varieties that can grow open field can be grown under protection as well in some cases, but you will see the plant behaving completely differently, because here we are altering the environment.
And we've got protection, and we're basically telling it, okay, come little plant, now you grow, now you grow.
Yes.
And where there you've almost got the sunlight and all the different natural factors that basically just wants to push it
yes.
down. If I
so
can
it's
put it like
I
that.
always take the comparison. For instance, if you've got open field tomatoes, it's like you standing in the sun. There's no aircon, no office, no nothing. You're there permanently. in a shade net like this, we can decide, okay, we can maybe stand in the shade. Then it's a little bit more comfortable than standing in the sun. It's the same principle. And then if you go for full tunnel production with all the bells and whistles and fans and mist walls and all of that, it's like sitting in an office with the aircon. If you're cold, you heat it. If you're warm, you can cool it down. So that's basically the principles of standing in the sun all day, having a little bit of shade where you can feel a little bit more comfortable, or going the plastic route with all the bells and whistles and sitting in an aircon office, and you've got the best of everything.
So to summarize at the end of the day, if you've got a lot of money and you know what you're doing, you put up nets.
Yes.
If you don't want to do that capital outlay and you're not 100% sure what you're doing and how you're going to get there, you go open field and you make sure that you plant the correct variety, and obviously do all the other things correct what you can do, but that will then be the route for you.
Yes, yes.
100%. John, thank you very much.
Perfect, thanks.
Right, so now you know when to open field and when to net. This is from our Sakata vegetable production series, specifically on tomatoes. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments below. We'll also put a link up on top or below depending on where you're watching, and then you can get in contact with Sakata if you've got any further questions or queries. Till next time, cheers.